Kansas FFA Foundation Board is made up of individuals who care deeply about this organization, and I'd like now to invite the Foundation Board of Trustees to join me on stage. The board consists of people who strongly believe in the positive effects of the Kansas FFA program and want to ensure that we continue to dedicate our time and projects so that future generations of FFA members will have the opportunity to participate in these life-changing experiences. I would like to take this opportunity now to thank a fine group of men and women who serve through the Kansas FFA Foundation. Serving as trustees this year are Mike Smith, Yancy Wright, Kevin Davis, Kurt Dillon, Jay Armstrong, Chad Bontrager, Glenn Brunko, Michael Burns, Ashley Chandler, Kevin Gleason, Kim Harms, Kelly Holting, Lloyd James, Mary Kane, Dana Ladner, Lloyd Schneider, Guy Shoulders, Jessica Smith, Carl Don Stover, Sharon Thielen, Jonathan Ulmer, and Randy Galley. Randy is retiring this year from the board after 6 years of service as a board member and on the executive team. We are very thankful for his time and service on the board.
Mrs. Nett, thank you for providing the resources, advice, and mentorship that allows over 11,500 Kansas FFA members get the most out of their FFA experience. Your dedication to service and support of our organization reflects in everything that Kansas FFA does. Kansas FFA, let's give one more round of applause to Mrs. Hallie Nett and all the other board members. We would also like to thank Mr. Randy Gawley for his dedication to the Kansas FFA Foundation as he steps down from the board this year. His years of service to Kansas FFA members has reflected in some of the celebrations we have this week and throughout the years. It is because of the great impact of Kansas FFA Foundation has on the experiences and recognition of our members that our state officer team has decided to carry on the legacy left by previous teams and become a 2-star sponsor. Kansas FFA, please join me one more time in thanking Mrs. Nett and the Kansas FFA Foundation Board.
Amplify. Our goals, our life, our voice. Amplify.
I like to joke with my family that beekeeping was the biggest prank that was ever pulled on me. My uncle decided I needed a new kind of pet for my birthday and dropped off 3 swarming boxes in my front lawn, then hightailed it back to Oklahoma. With my new stinging care packages and a slightly alarmed mother, I had to learn everything I could about taking care of my new SAE. I watched videos, read books, even joined a club full of farmers over the age of 50. And eventually, my knowledge helped me to invest into others through educational talks and other things. Many other members have swarmed libraries and the internet looking for sweet tidbits of information to better understand more about our organization's rich history and displayed their knowledge earlier this week. Mr. Secretary, please read the names of the individuals excelling in the Leadership Information Contest.
Ranking order are, tying for 9th place, Hannah Jones, Yates Center. Also in 9th place, Emily Greenway, Uniontown. In 8th place, Weston Trader of the Minneapolis FFA chapter. In 7th place, August Holz, Minneapolis. In 6th place, Haley Wirtz of the Nemaha Central FFA chapter. In 5th place, Mallory Wheat, Anderson County. In 4th place, Carissa Dahlquist, Council Grove. In third place, Hayden Lott, Minneapolis. In second place, Amelia Cubitt, Anderson County. And in first place, Aiden Yoho, Yates Center. Let's give our individuals one more round of applause. After all the individual scores were tabulated, top chapter scores were determined. The top 5 chapters in the FFA information contest in ranking order are: in 5th place, the Riverton FFA chapter. In 4th place, the Royal Valley FFA chapter. In 3rd place, the Yates Center FFA chapter. In 2nd place, the Anderson County FFA chapter. And in 1st place, the Minneapolis FFA chapter. Let's recognize these chapters and individuals once again for the knowledge they possess.
Our goals, our life, our voice. Amplify.
Outside of producing literal liquid gold, one of the main reasons I kept beekeeping was to pay for college. One year, a large snowstorm and heavy winter collapsed many of my hives, and for the first time, I thought my entire project would end. Thankfully, with the help of an SAE grant, I was able to get my apiary back on its feet and continue producing literal liquid gold. These next members coming on stage have developed a passion for their own SAEs and will continue to grow them through the help of funds provided by SAE grants. These awards will not only allow the members to invest in their programs, but will also allow them to invest in their education. Mr. Secretary, please read the names of the FFA members receiving SAE grants.
This year, the following FFA members will be receiving SAE grants on the state level. Sponsored by CVA, from the Blue Valley FFA chapter, Bryce Hotzel. Sponsored by Nelson and Marilyn Gale. From the Clay Center FFA chapter, Robert Long. And from the Ellsworth FFA chapter, Noah Goss. And from the Tonganoxie FFA chapter, Emma Myers. Sponsored by Harris Crop Insurance, from the Arkansas City FFA chapter, Mason Jordan. From the Blue Valley FFA chapter, Tessa Hartman. From the Chapman FFA chapter, Eladia Elliott. From the Mission Valley FFA chapter, Ava Gustin. From the Blue Valley FFA chapter, Layden Schreiber. Sponsored by Kansas Corn, from the Blue Valley FFA chapter, Lydia Cobb. From the Frankfurt FFA chapter, Brock Armstrong. From the Skyline FFA chapter, Jake Hiddle. Also from the Skyline FFA chapter, Hallie Young. From the Washington County FFA chapter, Elizabeth Wright. Sponsored by Kansas Soybean Commission, from the Arkansas City FFA chapter, Stetson Shook. From the Chapman FFA chapter, Mason Jordan, Chelsea Armbruster, Keegan Craig, from the Fairfield FFA chapter, Zach Zonker, from the Skyline FFA chapter, Kana Davidson, Cambry Moreland, and Callie Newdigger. Sponsored by MFA Oil. From the Marmaton Valley FFA chapter, Ty LaRue. From the Mission Valley FFA chapter, Deanna Smith, Alexis Studebaker. Sponsored by MKC. From the Bueller FFA chapter, Macy McCabe. From the Chapman FFA chapter, Emmy Gefeller, Nora Kajuf, Jones Lawson. Sponsored by Alan and Deanna Sense. From the Bueller FFA chapter, Peyton Coldren. Let's give a round of applause for the state SAE grant recipients. Let's get from the Blue Valley FFA chapter, receiving a national level grant are Brady Butchen, Brock Bergman, Isabel Wright, Skylar Zoeller. From the Chapman FFA chapter, Casey Butler, Braden Lexow, Hannah Miller, Tucker Siebert, and Jules Williams. From the Ellsworth FFA chapter, Rebecca Vogue. From the Frankfurt FFA chapter, Devin Helmrich, Max Schneal. From the Gossel FFA chapter, Riley Grabber. From the Holton FFA chapter, Erilyn Allen, Noah Bartle, Laura Larison, Kennedy Smith. From the Labette County FFA chapter, Noah Wiley. From the Linden FFA chapter, Ethan Nealer. From the Marmaton Valley FFA chapter, Haley Lanham. From the Mission Valley FFA chapter, Christopher Kane. Kyler Stevenson. From the Palco FFA chapter, Lucina Parsons. From the Phillipsburg FFA chapter, Austin Durking. From the Pike Valley FFA chapter, Kirsten Morgan. From the Rural Vista FFA chapter, Gavin Carson. From the Skyline FFA chapter, Nolan Kenworth. Sonia Palmer. From the Spring Hill FFA chapter, Aaliyah Schwinn. From the Tonganoxie FFA chapter, Emma Oftenberg. Anna Turup. Aiden Van Middlesworth. From the Washington County FFA chapter, Corey Miller. And Sarah Portenier. Join me in congratulating all of our SAE recipients.
Kansas FFA, we have a special guest with us today. Coach, consultant, creator, and connector are a few words to describe the essence of Becky Ford. Becky grew up on a small farm in Kansas, and through 4-H and FFA, found her passion for people, agriculture, and leadership. After graduating from Kansas State University in agricultural communications and journalism with a minor in leadership, Becky stepped into an array of roles that eventually took her to Indianapolis, Indiana. Her first role out of college was with the Kansas State Department of Agriculture and focused on branding and marketing local products in the state as well as globally. Becky then took her role to Elanco Animal Health in 2013 in marketing. Since then, Becky has held roles in global marketing, corporate communications, corporate social responsibility, and today she leads 2 key leadership programs for Elanco through the Global Learning and Development team. While Becky works at Elanco during the day, she also has 2 other key passions she pursues. Becky also acts as a life coach and leadership consultant through her On the Rise group business, podcasts with her partner, Ashlyn Seitz, and also co-owns a CrossFit gym with her husband in Indianapolis. Kansas FFA, let's give a warm welcome to our new speaker, Becky Ford.
Perfect. Stage is yours. Yay. Awesome. Thanks. All right. Hey, Kansas FFA. If you're having a good time, let me hear a whoop, whoop. All right. Is there any chance we can turn the house lights up just for a little bit? Just for a little bit. It wasn't that long ago. There we go. I want to see you. Wasn't that long ago that I was sitting in your shoes out here in that blue corduroy jacket in McCain Auditorium. Real quick, where are my freshmen at? Throw your hand up. All right, freshmen. A little quiet, all right. Where are my sophomores at? Sophomores? Okay, where are my juniors at? All right. Okay, I know this next one's gonna be loud, right? Where are my seniors at? Oh, yeah, okay. I see a few hands over here. If you are a senior and you know what you're gonna do when you graduate, what you're gonna do for your big kid job, throw your hand up if you've got a plan. All right, okay. Would you stand up, Tyler? Is it Tyler? Everyone say hi, Tyler. All right, Tyler, where are you from? Riverton, Kansas. You guys, you're crushing it up here. All right, Tyler, what is your grand plan?
I'm going to be a forensic scientist, work for the FBI.
Oh my gosh, you do not want to mess with Tyler. If you didn't hear what he said, he's going to be a forensic scientist and work for the FBI. Where are you going to go to school? Do you know?
Washburn University.
Washburn, he's got it all figured out. Washburn University. Let's give it up. Don't mess with him, FBI someday. Tyler, thank you for sharing your master plan with us. You get a shirt for that. Give it up for Tyler. Woo. Man, FBI, what am I doing with my life? Tyler, can't wait. Remember us someday. When I think about when I was a senior, I had a master plan, kind of like Tyler. I saw a few other hands in the air. My master plan was to go to Kansas State University, major in agricultural communications, journalism, minor in leadership, graduate, go to work in the big kid field for exactly 2 years, then go back to school, get my master's, get my PhD, and eventually become a professor. Guess what? Oh, don't clap. I failed. I failed. Don't worry, Mom and Dad, I graduated. That wasn't fake. The certificate's real. I went to K-State. I graduated. I went into the workforce, and I've never gone back to school. I don't have a master's. I don't have a PhD, and I'm nowhere close to becoming a professor. However, what I am doing, I absolutely love. I started working for a company that I enjoy so much, doing leadership training and coaching. I am a co-owner of 2 businesses. I never thought that would happen. Yay, SAE came back to play there. And I'm a mom, and I'm a wife, and I love my life. I failed at my master plan. I'm sure Tyler's going to succeed. However, one of my favorite quotes, it says, sometimes we have to give up the life that we plan for ourselves to accept the life that's waiting for you. I failed. When I turned 30, don't fall out of your seats, I know. I'm not 23 anymore. When I turned 30, I cried. I couldn't believe. I didn't have my master's or PhD yet. But then I realized, this is even better. I've learned so much. I failed at that plan. FFA, if there's one gift FFA gave me, it was being okay to step outside of my comfort zone, to try new things, and be okay with failure. And if I'm going to fail, I want to fail like a champion. A lot of times when we think of great leaders, we think of all of their successes. But we don't always realize they too have failed. Nelson Mandela, he was in prison for 27 years, the first black head of state of South Africa. Thomas Edison, he discovered 1,000 ways not to create a light bulb before he succeeded. Abraham Lincoln, he failed 8 elections, he failed at business twice, and he had a nervous breakdown. And now we have a monument for him in Washington, D.C. Great leaders don't always succeed. Great leaders are okay with failing like a champion. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how do we fail like a champion. 3 key things. 1, we're going to talk about how do you make the choice to try something knowing that failure is a risk. How do you make that choice? Then we're going to talk about not only that, but how do we get rid of the perfection monster? That monster that bugs us, that everything has to be perfect. And finally, we're going to talk about that inner voice. No one talks to you more than you do. What's your inner voice sound like? And how do we make sure it's positive and not negative? Those 3 ingredients will help us to truly fail like a champion. When I think of the most recent time where I stepped out of my comfort zone and I was okay with the possibility of failing, it was last year when one of my buddies named Johnny, wherever you are, shout out, Johnny asked me to do a CrossFit competition that had handstand walking. Okay, throw your hand up if you can walk on your hands. All right, I couldn't walk. I'm a foot walker, all right? But my buddy Johnny really wanted a teammate. He couldn't compete without a teammate. So I said, I'd think about it. I went home. I slept on it. I woke up. I said, why not? I can learn to walk on my hands. So I text Johnny. I said, okay, I'm in. And then I did what any person would do when they want to learn something new. I got to my computer, and I pulled up Google. I started Google searching gymnastic gyms in Indianapolis, which is where I live. I found 3 gyms. I sent them all an email, said, hey, do you have any classes for adults? I really need to learn how to walk on my hands. I got responses back. Shockingly, there's no gymnastics classes for middle-aged people. What? I got a response from one gym. The name is The Gymnastics Company. Really original, right? The gymnastics company emails me back and they say, hey, we'll do personal training sessions with you. You can use Coach Amy. All right. So in true extroverted fashion, I text my buddies and I say, who's in? Who wants to learn how to handstand walk with me? And I get my friend Ash to say yes. The day comes. It's time to go to this gymnastics company and do our first personal training session with Amy. Ash comes, she picks me up in her silver Toyota Corolla. We get in the car. As we're driving there, we are so nervous, and we're thinking about what are all the things we might do today. We say, oh, maybe she'll have us do some planks and work on our core. Maybe she'll have us like kick up against the wall and try to do like a handstand and work on our shoulders. Probably just like some fun agility, coordination drills. We finally pull up. It's this huge warehouse with a tiny little window with a decal that says, The Gymnastics Company. There's some trophies lining that window. We walk through the front doors. We get to the front desk and we say, hi, I'm Becky. This is my friend Ash, and we're here to learn how to handstand walk with Amy at 9 o'clock. The lady behind the desk says, oh, hi, I'm Amy. I'm finishing something up here. If you two don't mind, go ahead, walk through those double doors, go all the way to the back, the very far left. There's a blue floor. I'll meet you there. Make sure you warm up. Oh, okay. Thanks, Amy. Coach Amy. Yes. Why did I salute her? I don't know. Okay, so we start walking through these double doors. We see this huge facility. There's beams, there's bars, there's rings. In the far right-hand side as we walk in, we see what looks like 5 to 8-year-olds doing some bar routines. In the far back right, we see some high school girls doing this beautiful floor routine, dancing and flips. And then we make our way to the far left-hand side where the blue floor is. Okay, she said warm up. All right, warm up. Let's see, we're gonna learn how to handstand walk. Okay, whew, whew. So we start warming up. All right, touch the toes. Yeah, a little, okay. Ooh, ooh. So we start warming up. Soon enough, here comes Coach Amy. Coach Amy, she's walking slow, coffee in one hand, what looks like a fruit smoothie in the other. She walks up. You can tell her flippin' days are behind her. She puts her coffee and her smoothie down. She sits and she says, all right, ladies, let's start. Show me your handstand. Handstand? It's like the Flint Hills out here. There's nothing to kick up to. I'm a little panicked right now. My friend Ash can see the panic and fear on my face. So she says, oh, I'll go first. So my friend Ash kicks up, toes pointed to the sky, comes back down. Why didn't you tell me you could do a handstand? I should have invited a less coordinated friend. I wasn't ready for this. Okay, so it's my turn. All right, a handstand. I can do this. Okay. All right, here we go. Coach Amy, here we go. Ta-da! Coach Amy's sitting there. She looks at Ash. She looks at me. Okay. All right. Girls, we're going to learn how to do a handstand, and more importantly, we're going to learn how to fall safely so we don't hurt ourselves. For 2 weeks, we didn't learn how to handstand walk. We learned how to safely fall, and we learned how to do a handstand. Over and over again. We met with Coach Amy, we'd practice, bless her. She pulled out the thickest mats she had for us to fall on safely. We were about 1 month out from this competition I'm supposed to do with my buddy Johnny. Ash and I continue to practice, not only with Coach Amy, but we continue to practice at the gym, kicking up, spotting each other, eventually doing it with no spot, and then one day, I take 1 step with my hands. The next day, I take 2. I felt like Superwoman. I started to take steps gradually, but then it was time for the competition. It's competition time. It's the second workout, and it's time. Johnny and I each have to handstand walk 60 meters. And if you can't do 8 meters unbroken without falling, it doesn't count. My buddy Johnny kicks up like the little ninja he is, and he starts running on his hands faster than some of us can jog, and it's my turn. I kick up. Who thinks that I walked on my hands? If you think I walked on my hands, let me hear you say, yeah! If you think I failed, let me hear you say, uh-oh. All right, I really appreciate the yes. Like, man, I love the confidence in me. I failed. I failed. Every time I kicked up, the spectators went, oh! And every time I fell, they went, oh. At that competition with my buddy Johnny, we got second from last place. There was no pretty plaque for us that day. The crazy thing is, after that competition, I was determined. I will learn how to walk on my hands. I can do this. I continued to practice day in and day out, and within the next 6 months, I had 2 other people ask me to do competitions that had handstand walking. I did them both. And our teams got first in both of those competitions with handstand walking. What? Mind blown. When I say I failed, I literally fell hundreds of thousands of times. I spent 2 weeks learning how to fall safely with a professional. Sometimes, most of the time, we have to be willing to look like that foolish beginner to ever become a graceful master. And that means you got to be willing to fail. Why did I choose to say yes to a competition with handstand walking when I knew I couldn't do it? Let's talk about how do we make the decision to take a risk when we know failure is a high probability. How do we make that decision? A couple of things. Hey, first off, that's my buddy Johnny. Look at that guy. He's running on his hands. Look at him. That's Johnny. Give it up for Johnny if he's listening. Johnny, you're an all-star. Look at me. I'm pulling up my pants. I'm so cool. I've flipped up and down so many times, my pants were falling down. Let's talk about how we make the choice to take that risk. Here's what we don't want to do. We don't want to make our decisions based on greed, shame, or fear. Gosh, I can't count the number of times when I was asked to do things. I remember I was asked to join FFA as a freshman, and I didn't know anyone. I was afraid. What if people don't like me? So I didn't join. I didn't join FFA until I was a sophomore because my sister finally talked me into it. I made that decision not to join FFA my freshman year because I was afraid people wouldn't like me. For some of us, maybe we've made our decisions because we're afraid we're going to look like a fool. We don't want to make decisions based off those 3 things. When we make our decisions, we want to make them based off of our purpose, based off of the people we care about, and based off our values. So why did this old lady up here decide she wanted to learn how to handstand walk at 34 years old? 1, my people. I've got a child. I want my kid to know that failure is okay. I want him to see his mom be willing to try new things at any age. And just the effort we put in, that's what we want to celebrate. That is a value of mine. The effort, my people, my son. When I think of my purpose, I mentioned we do CrossFit. I coach CrossFit 3 days a week. I am constantly asking people to do things outside of their comfort zone. A part of my purpose is to lead by example. I ask these athletes to do things every day that they're not comfortable with. I asked this 73-year-old grandma, Donna, to try to do her first sit-up. I need to be willing to do things that I'm uncomfortable with. I have to show those people who I'm helping lead that I, too, will do those things and challenge myself. That's a part of my purpose. When we think about our time in FFA, we want to make decisions based on the people, our purpose, and our values. Agriculture. If that's a value of yours, just last night I was able to get dinner with a deputy secretary of ag here in Kansas, and she said, I never realized doing soils judging and judging dairy cattle, how all of these things will come into play someday. And I'm talking to all of these different parts of the industry. Values, people, and purpose. That's what we use to make the decision to step outside of our comfort zone and to take a risk when we know that failure, it's a possibility. And if we fail, let's fail like a what? Oh, we can do that better. If we fail, let's fail like a what? That's right. Let's fail like, I see people flexing. Let's fail like a champion. Handstand walking. I made that choice to learn how to handstand walk because of my people, my purpose, and my values. Once we make the choice to take that risk, there's two other key things we need to think about. One of those is getting rid of the perfection monster. And the perfection monster, it is just that. It's a monster. When I think about one of the moments where the perfection monster almost messed up something beautiful in my life, I think about middle school. I remember taking my first art class. Who in here has ever taken an art class? Anybody? Give me a whoop whoop if you take an art class. All right, a lot of us. Oh my gosh. I was so excited for my first art class. It was with Mrs. Smith. And I remember the first week, we did watercolor. Meh. Second week, we did some like charcoal stuff. Meh. Third week, it was time to use the potter's wheel. Yeah! I saw the upperclassmen using the potter's wheel. It looks so cool. You get this huge apron, you get to slap clay down on it. So it's finally my turn. I get to learn how to use the potter's wheel, and I have the perfect vision of what I'm going to create. So Mrs. Smith lets me get the apron on. It's my turn to use the potter's wheel. I get my ball of clay, I slap it down, get some water, and I start molding and shaping the most beautiful bowl. It might end up in a museum someday. It might end up in the White House. It's gonna be gorgeous. So I start shaping this most beautiful bowl, smooth around the sides, the inside. Man, it's perfect. We take it off, take it over to a table, and it's time to start adding color. Now, if you've ever done painting on clay, the glaze that we had at that time, it was all like see-through. It was clear. So you really had to pay attention to the bottles that you got. I had the perfect vision. My pot, it was gonna have this cool blue from the top, a different shade of blue from the bottom with a green around the center that was all gonna like tie-dye together, and then maybe some like white speckles. It was gonna be gorgeous. I go over to the shelf, I grab my 3 bottles, 2 blues, a green. I come back to my table, set them down, take the caps off, and I start painting. Dipping it in, blue on the top, green, green all around the center. Get that green. All right, and then blue at the bottom. Okay, I'm almost done. My friend Debbie comes over. Oh, hi Becky, can I borrow your orange, please? No, I don't have any orange. Isn't that orange right there? Huh. You know, Debbie, colorblind. I start looking at my caps. They're all the right colors that I want. But then I start to get paranoid. So I pick up each bottle, I look at the bottom, all right, blue. Orange? Oh my gosh! My green bottle with the green cap says orange on the bottom. Debbie was right. Somehow, someone put the wrong cap on the orange, and now instead of beautiful green in the center of my pot, it is some hideous, ugly orange. I so frustrated. I gave Debbie the orange. I am just pouting in anger. I want to throw my pot away. I start to take it to the trash can, but Mrs. Smith says, "No, Becky, no. You just wait. Let's let it sit overnight. Let's let it bake, and then just let's see." Put my pot in the oven, close it, let it bake for the night, go home. The whole time I'm thinking, all right, do I donate this to Goodwill? Do I throw it in the trash? Is it a white elephant gift, maybe? I don't know. Secret Santa? They won't know it's mine. Okay, so many options. I show back up to school the next day. Mrs. Smith starts pulling all of these pots out of the kiln. And as she's pulling them out, students are going up. They're grabbing theirs. And I'm just watching. Okay, that one kind of looks like mine. I don't know if it's mine. I walk over. I pick up this pot that suspiciously doesn't look as hideous as I think. I look at the bottom, and I see my initials. Oh. Okay. Oh, White House, here we come. What? It is not what I pictured. It's not the perfect color combination that I thought it would be. But man, it's kind of looking good. I look at this pot, I stare at it all day. I take it home, I put it on the coffee table at home, and I think, man, I'm really glad that I didn't throw that away. Was it perfect? No. Was it perfectly imperfect in its own way? Unique and beautiful? Yeah. I actually really like this mistake that happened. I couldn't even thought of this. And it looks beautiful. Perfection. The perfection monster in our head, it is a real thing. Repeat after me. Perfection does not exist. All right, here we go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, we're going to do that one more time. I want you to say it like you're angry, all right? Perfection does not exist. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, perfection doesn't exist. If we're always trying to measure things to a perfection standard, something we see on Instagram, something that culturally is telling us this is how you have to be, how you have to dress, how you have to look, it doesn't exist. If we're constantly measuring ourselves to what we think perfect is, we will always fall short. Instead, get rid of that perfection monster. Here's what we can do to get rid of that perfection monster. First thing, instead of thinking about striving for perfection, which what? Perfection does not? It does not exist. Instead of striving for that, strive for progress. Progress. When I think of handstand walking, man, I, time and time again, fell a million times, but eventually I took a step. I made progress. And then I took 2 steps, then I took 3 steps, then I took 14 steps. Progress over perfection. Other things we want to think about. Comparison. You've probably heard this. Comparison is the thief of all joy. We should not compare ourselves to others. We should compete. What's the difference? Comparison, you're trying to be someone else. Competing, you're trying to be your best self. If you're competing in public speaking here at FFA, you don't want to sound just like Jade or just like Michael. You want to sound just like you and the best version of you, because that's what you're going to really step into and thrive. So instead of comparison, compete. Compete and be the best version of yourself. Instead of fitting a mold, find that beauty in uniqueness. That pot that I made was so unique, I couldn't have even created it on my own. It was an accident, but I loved it. White House, if you're listening, yes, you can buy it from me. You know, cheap price, $500,000, whatever. My parents still have it on the coffee table. We also want to think about, instead of finding flaws, finding beauty. We want to be our best selves, and there's beauty in that. And finally, instead of thinking it is impossible to succeed because I'm comparing to this perfection over here, success looks like many different ways. There's many different ways of succeeding. That pot, it was an accident, but in the end it was a success because I followed it through. For you, think about, what are we using as our measuring stick for how we're successful? And make sure it's not some perfection that someone else tells us this is how we have to be, but you're looking at what makes you uniquely beautiful. What are your strengths? Step into that. And that will be how we fail like a what? How we fail like a champion. We want to be ourselves. The last thing we need to think about to fail like a champion is our inner voice. No one talks to you more than you talk to you. Cross your arms. If you have ever heard that voice inside your head say any of these things, cross your arms if you've been there. You're not smart enough. You're not thin enough. You're not fast enough. If you join the team, you'll let them down. If you try that new activity, you try that sport, you won't make the team. You're not talented enough. They won't like you. I see some crossed arms. At some point, that voice inside my head has probably told me all of those things. I gave the voice inside my head a name, call her Jessica. Jessica is sassy, and Jessica has a reputation for being pretty negative. But I've worked a lot with sassy, negative Jessica, and just last week, I had a really big win with that inner voice. Last week, I was working from home, and I decided last minute I would take my 2:30 p.m. call while walking my dog. It was the second walk I'd taken him on for the day, lucky guy. So I grabbed my headphones, I harness up my dog, we head out the door, and I start talking to my teammate Danielle. Danielle and I are talking. I'd already walked with my dog once that day, so I decide to go the opposite way I normally go. So I head straight to the very back cul-de-sac, and I start walking, we're talking, and I hear, "Help me." I hear it again. "Help me." It's not Danielle. I look around. I don't see anyone. But then on the opposite side of the street I'm walking, I look and I see a house with an empty wheelchair. I immediately start walking over to this house. I get there and I see this man who had fallen out of his wheelchair into a flower bed. His phone was too far away for him to reach it, and he's faintly, tirelessly saying, "Help me." Oh yes, hey, I'm Becky. How can I help you? Can you grab my phone and call 911 to get me back in my chair? This is that moment. Jessica, inside my head, starts to say, "Becky, you got this. You're strong enough to pick up this man. He needs your help. You can do this. You were brought here for a reason. You can do it." Sir, I can call 911. If you want, I can also put you back in your chair." He looks at me, and he says, "Well, if you think you can." So in that moment, I take my left arm, I put it behind his back, I take my right arm, I put it underneath his legs, and I pick him up. And I put him back in his chair, and as I'm doing that, he says, wow, what a lady, wow. I get him back in his chair, I make sure he's sitting upright, I grab his phone, I grab his garage door opener, I give those both to him, I make sure his chair is on the sidewalk. This whole time, he just continues to say, wow, what a lady. He introduces himself, his name is Todd. We get Todd back in his house, and all he could continue to say was, wow, What a lady. That day, man, I had an adrenaline high. Anyone else? If you were like ran across that, I had an adrenaline high. Oh yeah, I'm on a conference call. Hi Danielle, sorry. I had to take a break to help my neighbor. Continue that walk, that conference call. I get back home, and I finally have a chance to think. Wow. Jessica, inside my mind, was my greatest cheerleader. Just 10 years ago, if I was in that situation, Jessica might have sounded like this. You're not good enough, Becky. You're too weak. You can't help this man. Is it weird if you help this guy and you pick him up? That's what Jessica would have sounded like 10 years ago. But I've done a lot of work. I have worked hard to make sure that Jessica, sure, she can still be sassy, but Jessica moving from being negative to positive. How are you talking to yourself? When you are trying something new, are you your greatest cheerleader, or are you tearing yourself down in your mind? What does your Jessica sound like? It takes time. Think about your inner voice. If your inner voice is being negative, if it's holding you back, if you're telling yourself lies, we need to be intentional about changing that. It takes time to change that inner voice. It takes knowing your strengths and knowing who you are, and it takes loving yourself. When you start to talk to yourself, pause. Give yourself a moment and think, how am I speaking to myself? The more negative we are, the less likely we are going to try to do new things. The less likely we're going to be to step outside our comfort zone, do a new contest, meet some new people, try that new sport. The more positive we are with how we talk to ourselves, the more comfortable we're going to be with failing like a That's right. Great leaders don't just succeed. Great leaders are okay with failure. And as a matter of fact, they know we have to fail to learn. Our scars make us who we are. Be okay with failure. Actually, celebrate failure. We need to think about making that choice to say yes to new opportunities, even when failure is a risk. We make our decisions based on people, purpose, and values. We need to get rid of that perfection monster. Get rid of it. Instead of perfection, strive for progress. And finally, we need to be aware of our inner voice. Are we our greatest cheerleaders? Are we holding ourselves back? Change it so that we are supporting ourselves, so that we can step into leading and be okay and celebrate that great leaders, they fail like a That's right. Step into your leadership. Be okay with failure. Try new things. And Kansas FFA, you got this. We're going to be masters at failing like a That's right. Awesome. I have some gifts for you. All right, Tyler got one of those gifts. I have some more gifts right here. Come on out. Oh, wait a sec. Oh, there they are. Yes, Michael down here. If you want a present, you can get a Fail Like a Champion shirt. Michael's got some here. Let's see how good Michael's arm is. People in the top, can he throw it to you? I don't know. All right, Michael, it's up to you. Throw him out there, man. Give him some love. Oh! If you want to win a shirt, you can also win a shirt. Woo! All right, give it up for Michael. If you want a shirt, we've got some more we're giving out. Go follow On the Rise group, and you too could win a shirt. Fail like a champion. Thank you, Kansas FFA. Enjoy the rest of your convention. Give yourselves a round of applause. Fail like a champion. You got this.
Becky, thank you so much for your inspiring words and for being with us here today. It was a lot of fun listening to you, and your dedication to living an authentic life and agriculture really shines through in all of your words. Please accept this as a token of our appreciation. Thank you. And Kansas FFA, let's give it up one more time for Miss Becky Ford.
Thank you.
Bees have a really underestimated job of surveying the land for the best crop. Every week of spring and summer, new flowers bloom with different qualities to their nectar. The bee's job is to scavenge and find the best in the season. These next members have also scavenged for information and done their research prior to their journey here at the 94th Kansas FFA Convention. By writing on the topic, how did COVID-19 impact agriculture in your community and/or the state of Kansas? Their ability to share their knowledge has earned them top honors in this year's Kansas Association of Agriculture Educators Essay Contest. These finalists all receive a monetary award sponsored by the Kansas Association of Agriculture Educators. Mr. Secretary, please introduce the members who have won top honors with their entries.
The finalists of the KAAE Essay Contest in ranking order are: in 5th place, Haley Lanham from the Marmaton Valley FFA Chapter. In 4th place, Lily Kopfer from the Oxford FFA Chapter. In 3rd place, Nicole Hazy from the Ellsworth FFA Chapter. In 2nd place, Adele Higby from the West Franklin FFA Chapter. And in 1st place, Noah Goss from the Ellsworth FFA Chapter. Let's give one more round of applause to the top KAAE Essay Award winners.
Although I am not a huge fan of birds because they're predators to my bees, the individuals standing by the owl have a special place in my heart. I found that my advisors were sometimes one of my truest mentors in agriculture, school, and life. They are people in our lives that guide us and can make our entire experience in FFA better. Like a queen directing the work of her hive, advisors work day and night to ensure the future of agriculture is in members' capable hands, even in the stickiest of situations. We now have the opportunity to recognize some of those individuals who have helped guide us, support us, and advise us on where we should go and what we should do next throughout our adventures in the Kansas FFA Association. Mr. Secretary, please assist me in thanking each of our retiring KAAE Vice Presidents and District Advisors this year.
Without advisors, the FFA simply cannot achieve its aims and purposes. We would like to take this time to thank these 3 advisors for their service as mentors to their fellow advisors. These 3 have been extremely helpful as leaders in the KAAE. Thanks to their service as KAAE Vice Presidents, advisors are able to serve students with the tools to excel in many areas of FFA, including competitions and chapter activities. Thank you so much for your many years of service as great advisors to the Kansas FFA. Starting in the classroom, advisors are the building blocks of agricultural education and help students achieve all their goals. From SAE visits to long hours building lessons for their students, advisors are the backbone of their chapter. They instill special lessons and skills into every student that passes into their classroom. These 3 advisors go above and beyond what is asked of them and are true examples of leadership. The last line of the creed of ag teachers states, "My love for youth will spur me on to impart something from my life that will help make for each of my students a full and happy future." Agriculture goes above and beyond the classroom and into the real life experiences. Having an ag teacher that understands the importance of an SAE and helping students learn and develop skills is essential for the future. Being able to have a voice when it comes to SAEs can have so much of an impact on many students who are doing to learn. On behalf of those students, thank you. The following KAAE Vice Presidents retiring this year are Ms. Bogart from the Arkansas City FFA chapter, Mrs. Stover from the Ellsworth FFA chapter, and Mr. Larison from the Holton FFA chapter. Let's give these educators a round of applause. Next, we'll recognize the district advisors. For the East Central District, Mrs. Snyder, thank you for pouring your time and effort into serving the East Central District this year. Your students have shown their appreciation for your mentorship and guidance throughout the year. You have done a remarkable job fulfilling this role and sharing your talents with your district. Thank you. For the North Central District, Mrs. Wallace, your students were quick to describe you with words like zealous, profound, and phenomenal. Your impact on students in the North Central District will leave a positive mark on their hearts forever. Thank you for donating your time with excitement, passion, and enthusiasm. For the Northeast District, Mr. Figge, thank you so much for balancing all your many responsibilities while serving as the Northeast District Advisor this year. Your students made a point to acknowledge the wisdom, experience, and knowledge you brought to the table. Thank you for your service to the Kansas FFA members. For the Northwest District, Ms. Figge, your kind, caring, and understanding nature truly left an impact on students in the Northwest District this year. Your students credited a portion of their growth to your influence, empathy, and inspiration as a role model. Thank you for welcoming the opportunity to serve as a district advisor. For the South Central FFA District, Mrs. DeWeese, thank you so much for taking the time to mentor and advise the members of the South Central District this year. Your students made known that you played an inspirational and impactful role in their time as district officers. Thank you for your willingness to spread kindness and passion throughout the South Central District. For the Southeast District, Ms. Stevens, your students would like to recognize you for stepping up to the plate this year to serve as the Southeast District Advisor. They used words like impactful, passionate, supportive, and considerate when describing your impact on them. Thank you for your humble service to the members of the Southeast District. For the Southwest District, Mrs. Sipes, thank you for helping every member of the Southwest District feel welcome in FFA. Your impact on these students is one that will truly last a lifetime. Thank you for embracing your role as district advisor to help these members discover their potential. Let's show our appreciation to the outstanding KAAE Vice Presidents and District Advisors we have this year with one more final round of applause.
My absolute favorite part of my job is sharing it with others. From the smile on a child's face after tasting chocolate-flavored honey, to the questions I answer and information I give to anyone I can. These next members have had their own favorite parts of their jobs through their supervised agricultural experience. They've worked hard throughout the year by keeping accurate records, performing agricultural services, and advocating for agriculture. Mr. Secretary, please recognize the first half of this year's Kansas FFA Proficiency Award finalists.
Finalists from each proficiency area will be presented in alphabetical order by chapter. Then we will announce our winner in each category. In the category of Equine Sciences Entrepreneurship, our finalists are Emily McNeely-Lucy from the Doniphan County FFA chapter, Jenna Milford from the Eudora FFA chapter, Corbin Wilkinson from the Scott City FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by Purina Animal Nutrition, and the winner is Emily McNeely-Lucy.
Emily McNeely-Lucy from the Doniphan West FFA chapter is the winner of this year's Proficiency Award in Equine Science Entrepreneurship. This award is sponsored by Purina Animal Nutrition. Through her SAE, Emily raised, trained, and sold horses to people all over the world. Her responsibilities included caring for the horses, working them daily, and marketing them to customers. She would then take her horses to shows to increase her brand recognition. Emily has attended many shows and qualified for the AQHA Youth World Show. Emily plans to attend Kansas State University and eventually become a veterinarian while expanding her training company. Emily is the daughter of Shelley and David Lucy. Her advisor is Hannah Adam. Congratulations, Emily.
In the category of Equine Science Placement, our finalists are Maxwell Douglas from the Paola FFA chapter, and Reese Byers from the Renwick FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by United Mosquito and Fly Control, and the winner is Maxwell Douglas.
Max Douglas from the Paola FFA chapter has earned this year's Equine Science Placement Proficiency Award. This award is sponsored by United Mosquito and Fly Control. Max's parents own and operate Lakeside Stables in Hillsdale, where they give riding lessons, board horses, raise cattle, and have a small forage operation. His daily responsibilities include feeding and watering, grooming, wellness checks, assisting with lessons, and helping boarders. He also maintains equipment, trains horses, and administers preventative health care such as worming. After college, Max hopes to one day be able to offer a similar service of his own. Max is the son of Mike and Kelly Douglas. His advisors are John Menifee and Tom Scholl. Great job, Max.
In the category of fiber and/or oil crop production, our finalists are Carrie Perkins from the Labette County FFA chapter, and Alyssa Kern from the Washington County FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by Kansas Soybean, and the winner is Alyssa Kern.
The winner of this year's Proficiency Award in Fiber and Oil Crop Production is Alyssa Kern from the Washington County FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by the Kansas Soybean Association. For Alyssa's SAE, she rents and maintains 14 acres of land from her grandparents. This is the 5th year that she has raised soybeans on their farm, and she is involved with all aspects of production. When the beans are ready to harvest, Alyssa helps her father cut them with the combine and helps her grandfather haul them to the elevator. Currently, Alyssa is studying nutrition and health with a secondary major in gerontology and a minor in psychology. After she gets her bachelor's degree, she plans to become a physician's assistant. Alyssa is the daughter of John and Lisa Kern. Her advisor is John Kern. Way to go, Alyssa.
In the category of forage production, our finalists are Isaac Utes from the Holton FFA chapter, Jay McClure from the Hugoton FFA chapter, and Ella Pocta from the Republic County FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by Kansas Forage and Grassland Council, and the winner is Jay McClure.
Jay McClure from the Hugoton FFA chapter is the winner of this year's Proficiency Award in Forage Production. This award is sponsored by the Kansas Forage and Grassland Council. Jay has a 25% share in a 2006 Massey Ferguson 2190 baler and an annual lease of an 8430 John Deere tractor in partnership with his family's farm. He is in charge of the marketing by being in constant contact with hay brokers and their customers in several states. Jay is most proud of the network of buyers he has obtained over the years through earning their trust. After high school, Jay plans to continue his work on the family farm. Jay is the son of Joel and Karen McClure. His advisor is Les McNally. Let's congratulate Jay on a job well done.
In the category of Forest Management and Products, sponsored by Kansas Forest Service, the winner is Garrett Collins from the Holton FFA chapter.
Garrett Collins from the Holton FFA chapter has earned this year's Forest Management and Products Proficiency Award. This award is sponsored by the Kansas Forest Service. Garrett splits and sells firewood alongside his business partner, Landon. Both Garrett and Landon cut and split wood as well as deliver orders. The most common types of wood they cut are oak, mulberry, hackberry, walnut, and hedge. They have started clearing trees and brush and sell wood within about a 60-mile radius. One of the largest loads they completed was 23,000 pounds of cut wood. Garrett plans to attend Washburn Tech to pursue a heavy diesel certificate. Garrett is the son of Chad and Jill Collins. His advisors are Jason Larison and Alex Bartle. Great job, Garrett.
In the category of Goat Production, our finalists are Aiden Bartholomew from the Erie FFA chapter, Shay Robertson from the Hugoton FFA chapter, Bailey Newberry from the Wellington FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by the Kevin Davis family, and the winner is Bailey Newberry.
Bailey Newberry from the Wellington FFA chapter has earned this year's Goat Production Proficiency Award. This award is sponsored by the Kevin Davis family. Bailey's interest in dairy goats started at the 2017 Kansas State Fair, where she purchased a registered Nigerian Dwarf Junior doe. Since then, her herd has grown into Slate Creek Farms, her registered Nigerian goat business. The goats produce a surplus of milk every year. She's developed many relationships with local livestock producers and sells the milk to them for their orphaned livestock. She has also developed her business to include selling goat milk soaps. Bailey plans to pursue a career in veterinary medicine and eventually return to her hometown. Bailey is the daughter of Jason and Whitney Newberry. Her advisor is Linda Chase. Congratulations, Bailey.
In the category of Grain Production, our finalists are Emma Albers from the Donovan West FFA chapter, Justin Nickel from the Gossel FFA chapter, Luke Ellington from the Paola FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by Kansas Wheat Commission, and the winner is Emma Albers.
Emma Albers from the Donovan West FFA chapter is the winner of this year's Proficiency Award in Grain Production. This award is sponsored by the Kansas Wheat Commission. Emma works on her parents' farm in Denton in exchange for their use of their equipment. In 2018, Emma partnered with her brother to cash rent 80 acres of land to raise soybeans. They alternate between field corn and soybeans each year to help the overall soil health of their field. Emma has been responsible for picking seed hybrids, applying fertilizer and pest control, and choosing the best time to plant and harvest. Emma plans to attend Colby Community College via distance education to study veterinary nursing and continue working on the farm. Emma's parents are Jeff and Sarah Albers. Her advisor is Hannah Adam. Way to go, Emma!
In the category of Landscape Management, our finalists are Rebecca Vogue from the Ellsworth FFA chapter, Chloe Sell from the Iola FFA chapter, Matthew Price from the Wellington FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by Lawrence Landscape, and the winner is Chloe Sell.
Chloe Sell from the Iola FFA chapter has earned this year's Landscape Management Proficiency Award. This award is sponsored by Lawrence Landscape. Chloe spends time maintaining and beautifying lawns. She mows and trims lawns, adds mulch, picks up sticks and debris, controls weeds in the gardens, and trims bushes and hedges. She has learned the importance of detail and hard work through her experiences. Chloe's SAE has grown over the years through her use of business card advertisements and word of mouth throughout her community. After high school, she plans to attend Pittsburgh State University to major in biology and pursue a career in medicine. Chloe is the daughter of Ryan and Angie Sell. Her advisor is Amanda Strickler Holman. Keep up the great work, Chloe.
In the category of Nursery Operations, this award is sponsored by Kansas FFA Foundation. And the winner is Riley Grabber from the Gossel FFA chapter.
The winner of this year's Proficiency Award in Nursery Operation is Riley Graber from the Gossel FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by the Kansas FFA Foundation. Riley owns Potted Paradise, where she grows several varieties of succulents, houseplants, and other rare plants. She buys cuttings and nodes, plants them, and waits for roots. Once they are rooted, she creates succulent arrangements that she advertises and sells through multiple media outlets. Her operation has grown, and she now cares for more than 800 plants. Riley plans to graduate high school with an associate's degree in business and then run a full-time plant business. Riley's parents are Justin and Christy Graber. Her advisor is Alicia Cox. Congratulations, Riley.
In the category of Outdoor Recreation, this award is in honor of Caleb and Lindsay Snyder. And the winner is McKaylee Sawyer from the Marion FFA chapter.
McKelly Sawyer from the Marion FFA chapter is the winner of this year's Proficiency Award in Outdoor Recreation. This award is sponsored by Nathan and Lindsay Snyder. McKelly works at Country Dreams Bed and Breakfast in Marion County, which includes 400 acres of hunting ground and a 23-acre watershed pond. Her duties require her to maintain the pond, docks, boats, walking trails, hunting stands, game cameras, and ensure all water and hunting equipment is up to safety standards. She works with guests and local hunters to track game with her dog that she trained to track blood and antlers. After high school, McKelly will be attending Cotty College to pursue a career in physical therapy. McKelly's parents are Michael and Sherry Sawyer. Her advisor is Mark Meyer. Great work, McKelly.
In the category of Poultry Production, our finalists are Michaela Dibben from the Junction City FFA chapter, Christopher Kane from the Mission Valley FFA chapter, and Ember Kinch from the Riverton FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by the Amos Carr Trust. And the winner is Ember Kinch from the Riverton FFA chapter.
The winner of this year's Proficiency Award in Poultry Production is Ember Kinch from the Riverton FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by KHR Trust. Ember's SAE consists of raising chickens, incubating and hatching eggs, breeding birds for increased egg production, and selling eggs. She is responsible for providing the proper nutrition to her birds, assessing them for disease, and giving medication when needed. She also analyzes their housing environment and makes changes when necessary to keep them safe and healthy. Ember has grown her flock to 200 chickens and has collected nearly 2,000 eggs in the last year. Ember plans to attend Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College and become a veterinarian. Ember is the daughter of Sean and Stephanie Kinch. Her advisor is Jacob Larison. Awesome job, Ember.
In the category of Service Learning, our finalists are Brecken Pearson from the Kenton Galva FFA chapter, and Olivia Rickle from the Royal Valley FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by the Sites Fundraising. And the winner is Olivia Rickle.
Olivia Rickle from the Royal Valley FFA chapter is the winner of this year's Proficiency Award in Service Learning. This award is sponsored by Sites Fundraising. Olivia's SAE was designing and placing a blessing box at her church in Hoyt. A blessing box is a small cabinet that is placed in a public area where people can pick up non-perishable food or personal items. First, Olivia went to the city council for approval, found sponsors, and collected donations for the box. Now she regularly restocks the blessing box and makes sure it always has a good inventory for their community. Olivia plans to attend Kansas State University to major in feed science. Her parents are Jerry and Chastity Rickle. Her advisor is Kim Clark. Keep up the great work, Olivia.
In the category of sheep production, our finalists are Haley Gillespie from the Anderson County FFA chapter, Macy Burns from the Atchison County FFA chapter, and Casey Butler from the Chapman FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by Hobbs Show Lambs, and the winner is Haley Gillespie.
Haley Gillespie from the Anderson County FFA chapter has earned this year's Sheep Production Entrepreneurship Placement Proficiency Award. This award is sponsored by Hobbs Show Lambs. Haley owns and operates a 37-head flock of breeding ewes to raise show lambs. She has worked with prestigious breeders across the United States to ensure she has elite genetics in her flock. In managing her operation, she utilizes estrus synchronization and both natural and artificial insemination breeding. One of her greatest accomplishments was winning the Champion Hampshire Breeding Ewe at the Kansas State Fair. Haley is a student at Fort Scott Community College and plans to transfer to Kansas State University and earn a degree in feed science. Her parents are Jeff and Karen Gillespie. Her advisor is Jeff Gillespie. Congratulations, Haley.
In the category of small animal production and care, our finalists are Madeline Mernon from the Jackson Heights FFA chapter, Gracie Gatton from the Labette County FFA chapter, and Corey Miller from the Washington County FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by Animal Health Center of Marion County. And the winner is Gracie Gatton.
The winner of this year's Proficiency Award in Small Animal Production and Care Entrepreneurship Placement is Gracie Gatton from the Labette County FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by the Animal Health Center of Marion County. Gracie owns 11 rabbits, including 6 Netherland Dwarfs, 2 Mini Rex, and 3 Holland Lops. She is responsible for their daily care and handling, which includes clipping nails, treating ear mites, cleaning and wrapping sore hocks, and providing routine medications. She breeds, shows, and sells her rabbits. Over the years, she has learned how to select the best feed for her rabbits and how to evaluate rabbits prior to purchase. Gracie plans to attend the College of the Ozarks and pursue a career in nursing. Her parents are Rick and Debbie Gatton, and her advisors are Dustin Wiley, Kyle Zwallen, and Keith Guerin. Awesome job, Gracie!
In the category of specialty animal production, our finalists are Grady Fox from the Frankfort FFA chapter, Belladonna Toy from the Marion FFA chapter, Benjamin Tempe from the Paola FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by Prairie School Farms, the Lennon family. And the winner is Grady Fox.
Grady Fox from the Frankfort FFA chapter has earned this year's Specialty Animal Production Entrepreneurship Placement Proficiency Award. This award is sponsored by Prairie School Farms. Grady raises, breeds, and harvests tilapia fish. He started off by purchasing small tilapia fish called fry and began raising them to a breeding age. After breeding, the fish are harvested. Grady completes daily tasks such as feeding the fish and testing the water quality. To harvest the fish, he removes their fillets, soaks the meat in salt water, and refrigerates it for several hours. Once it is ready, he bags and freezes it. Grady plans to eventually become a farmer and rancher. His parents are Leon and Julie Fox. His advisor is Victoria Kimbrough. Fantastic work, Grady!
In the category of swine production entrepreneurship, our finalists are Cheyenne Wiley from the Labette County FFA chapter, Kyler Stevenson from the Mission Valley FFA chapter, James DeRushi from the Wamego FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by Kansas Pork Association. And the winner is James DeRushi from the Wamego FFA chapter.
James DeRushi from the Wamego FFA chapter is the winner of this year's Proficiency Award in Swine Production Entrepreneurship. This award is sponsored by the Kansas Pork Association. Each year, James buys between 9 and 12 pigs to show competitively across the state and country. After the show season is over, he then sells the hogs for locker meat or to breeders. Through his SAE, he has learned how to develop feed rations by taking protein, fiber, and fat levels into consideration to create rations that will best suit each pig. He has also learned to study phenotypes and industry trends to be more successful. James plans to attend Kansas State University to major in agricultural business. His parents are Joel and Julene DeRushi. His advisor is Andy Morton. Way to go, James.
In the category of swine production placement, this award is sponsored by the Kansas Pork Association. And the winner is Mason Springer of the Neodesha FFA chapter.
The winner of this year's Proficiency Award in Swine Production Placement is Mason Springer from the Neodesha FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by the Kansas Pork Association. Mason works for his family's commercial pig farm, Springer Family Foods, a family-owned third-generation swine operation with over 50,000 hogs, including 2,000 breeding stock. He mows lawns, sorts and loads hogs, weans pigs, and washes barns. He also works in the barns to make sure that the pigs are provided the best environment to promote growth, safety, and health. Mason plans to attend Kansas State University to major in agricultural business or animal science. His parents are Michael and Christy Springer. His advisor is Emma Lehman. Keep up the great work, Mason.
In the category of turf grass management, this award is sponsored by Sod Shop Incorporated. And the winner is Jenna Curry from the Iola FFA chapter.
Jenna Curry from the Iola FFA chapter has earned this year's Turf Grass Management Proficiency Award. This award is sponsored by Sod Shop Incorporated. Jenna works to maintain close to 30 yards for her customers. She picks up limbs, leaves, and debris, then mows the yards. She also plants flowers, lays down mulch, and trims weeds. During her 4 years of running her business, she is most proud of growing her customer base from just 4 yards to now almost 30. After high school, she plans to go to a local community college, then to Kansas State University. Her parents are Brett and Brianna Curry. Her advisor is Amanda Strickler Holman. Great job, Jenna!
In the category of vegetable production, our finalists are Noah Wiley from the Labette County FFA chapter, Abigail Robinson from the Royal Valley FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by From the Land of Kansas program. And the winner is Abigail Robinson.
The winner of this year's Proficiency Award in Vegetable Production is Abby Robinson from the Royal Valley FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by the From the Land of Kansas program. Abby's SAE includes her vegetable garden, where she produces tomatoes, potatoes, cucumbers, green beans, onions, jalapenos, bell peppers, cantaloupe, and zucchini. She first became interested in this project 6 years ago when her mother taught her how to use a water bath canner to can fruits and vegetables. Now she uses her garden produce to can food for her family to use throughout the year. After high school, she plans to attend Kansas State University to study agriculture. Abby is the daughter of Ramey Johnson and Paul Phillips. Her advisor is Kim Clark. Congratulations, Abby.
In the category of veterinary sciences, our finalists are Abigail Porter from the Beloit FFA chapter. Emma Albers from the Doniphan West FFA chapter. Cecilia Newby from the Labette County FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by Kansas Vet Medicine Association. And the winner is Abigail Porter.
Abigail Porter from the Beloit FFA chapter is the winner of this year's Proficiency Award in Veterinary Science. This award is sponsored by the Kansas Veterinary Medicine Association. Abigail works at Solomon Valley Veterinary Hospital. During her usual day, she tends to clients' needs, runs the computer system, maintains the veterinary clinic, and communicates with coworkers about scheduling. She also assists in balancing feed rations, helping the veterinarian during surgery, administering medications, and operating veterinary equipment, all to help understand the animal's needs. Abigail plans to attend Kansas State University and major in animal science and veterinary medicine. Abigail's parents are Stuart and Angela Porter. Her advisors are Michael Wright and Will Johnson. Great job, Abigail.
In the category of wildlife production and management, our finalists are Peyton Walk from the Greeley County FFA chapter. Augustus Wright from the Paola FFA chapter. Trey Melton from the Republic County FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by Ducks Unlimited. And the winner is Augustus Wright.
Gus Wright from the Paola FFA chapter has earned this year's Wildlife Production and Management Proficiency Award. This award is sponsored by Ducks Unlimited. Gus's SAE focuses on improving the quality of wildlife by planting food plots in and around areas he traps and hunts. Utilizing the plots allows him to monitor the deer and predator populations and attempt to keep them in balance. He also uses his YouTube channel, Wright's Trapline, to educate the public on the necessity of trapping and how to set and bait traps. Gus plans to attend Kansas State University and major in wildlife biology and conservation. Gus is the son of Jeff and Stephanie Wright. His advisor is John Menifee. Keep up the great work, Gus.
Join me in giving all these proficiencies, finalists, and winners one last round of applause.
These members have shown us what it means to honor agricultural opportunities through their supervised agricultural experiences. They have put time and effort and sowed the seeds of success, some literally, while others figuratively. Members and supporters of the Kansas FFA Association should be proud of their great accomplishments. Each of these Proficiency Award winners will represent Kansas in the fall at the 94th National FFA Convention and Expo. Please join me in congratulating all of our finalists and winners for their outstanding efforts. This second session of the 94th Kansas FFA Convention has been quite the buzz. Thank you for joining me as we learned way too much about an insect most of us are afraid of. But more importantly, the great success and support we have for agriculture and FFA here in Kansas. The drive and grit our members have to improve and learn is outstanding. To help land us on a sweet note, I call upon Kansas FFA President Ashley Chandler to assume the duties of the chair.
Mr. Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
Yes, I do, Madam President. Extemporaneous public speaking finals will start at 11 a.m. this morning. Food trucks including the Dough Bros, Vista, and Smokin' Willie's will be available on campus from 11 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. For invited guests, Proficiency Award Luncheon will take place at 12 noon at the Kansas State Alumni Center Ballroom. Prepared public speaking finals will also be in the K-State Student Union Wildcat Chambers starting at 1 p.m. 2 representatives from the following chapters need to report to the seating row B, house left, in order to find some seating for the Scrapbook Award honors before the next session begins. Chase, Fairfield, Fredonia, and Logan. The third session of the 94th Kansas FFA Convention will start at 2 p.m. We will recognize the second half of our proficiency finalists, honor the sponsors who make this convention possible, recognize those in the Chapter Seed program, and present awards from the Scrapbook Competition, Employment Skills LDE, and see the innovative ideas in the growing leaders area of the National Chapter Award. Presidential, career, and technical education scholars will be recognized, as well as those members receiving FFA scholarships. We will also draw the finalist names for the John Deere Gator. Last but not least, we will have the chance to hear from the 2021-2022 Kansas FFA Secretary, yours truly, as I deliver my retiring address.
Thank you. Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this meeting? We are about to adjourn this session of the 94th Kansas FFA Convention. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now declare this session adjourned.